Laugh me a laugh, grin me a grin, and then I know that we can win. Dance me a dance, joke me a joke, and blow the clouds away.
The comedian Bobby Bull died last week. He starred in several sitcoms, including Not Going Out and Last of the Summer Wine, and he was best known for being one half of the double act Cannon and Ball. But there was another Cannon who had a lasting impact on Bobby. Canon Max Wigley. He met Bobby backstage at a Bradford theatre at the height of his fame in 1986. Bobby remembered that seminal moment in an interview with Mike Stevens of BBC Radio Lancashire earlier this year.
There wasn't anything I needed. We had a great career and everything. And now every theatre has a chaplain. When the show comes, they go in and meet everybody. And if they want prayers, then they're there. Well, we did Bradford, a pantomime. And suddenly they knock on this door. And I was wild when I was a young man. I was crackers, man. And it was a vicar called Max. And he stood there and he said, "How are you? Pleased to meet you." I said, "I'm fine, but listen to me," I said. I thought, I'll shock this man. I said, "Take your collar off because you know better than me." He said, "No problem." And he took his collar off. And he sat there and he said, "Are you going out after?" I said, "Yeah, but I'm going to get a bit drunk." He said, "Can I come with you?" I said, I'm going to have a few babies." He said, "Yeah, but could I come with you?" I said, "Yeah." And he came with us. And he was great company. And when he'd gone, I don't know what it were. The day after, I had to talk to him. And I phoned him. I said, "Could I come and see you, Max?" He said, "Of course you can." And I sat there with him and I just said all of a sudden, I said, "What's this peace you've got? I don't have that, what you've got. Because you're peaceful." He said, "It's called God. It's called my belief." And I said, "Well, I want that." I said, "But I can't change my ways." He said, "Nobody's asking you to." He said, "But if you want, we'll pray." I said, "I've never prayed in my life." And I hadn't. I'd never prayed in my life. I said, "Okay." He said, "Well, I'll say the words, you repeat them after me." He said, "But don't talk to me. Do a proper prayer. Talk to God." I said, "Okay." Now, I don't know what I'm telling you. I did it, and I started to cry like a child. And I knew God were real. There's no gags about it. And for me, it was real. I went home that day, and I said to my missus, to Yvonne, I said, "I've found God." She said, "Has he been lost?" I said, "I can't explain what it is, Yvonne." I said, "But he's real." And then a couple of years after, she became a Christian. A couple of years after that, Tommy became a Christian. And that's how our lives have been. And it were all from meeting that vicar.
And when you said to Max, the theatre chaplain, that you felt like you didn't have peace, what did you mean by that?
Well, I thought he had peace. But when I looked at Max, I knew I hadn't got what he got. He was peaceful inside. His spirit was peaceful. Mine was, "I want to do that, I want to do that. Can we get that? Can we do this?" He didn't have all that. He had a peace. And I wanted that, what he had. You know what I mean?
In the mid-1980s, a lot of people would have looked at you and at Tommy as well and would have imagined that you had everything you wanted.
Oh, we did. We did have everything we wanted, material things. But that doesn't give you peace. Because the more material things you have, the more you want. You watch them all. You'll see them doing it. And this man had nothing, but he had more than me. I'll tell you what, you've got me deep here now, haven't you?
That was Bobby Bull speaking in April this year. Well, joining us now is Chris Gidney, a long-time friend of Bobby's and founder of Christians in Entertainment. That's quite an interview, wasn't it? And describing such a key moment in his life.
Oh, wasn't that wonderful? I mean, that is just Bobby all over, just such a straight talker. You always knew where you were with Bob. You know, he was what it said on the tin, and we loved him for it.
What do you remember about that key time in his life when he made this extraordinary change and had this big conversion?
I remember the people around him in the business, or there were a lot of people that didn't want to work with Bob and Tom because they were quite difficult. They'd come from nowhere. They'd built up, a long career and have become huge stars. And it had gone to their heads, and they were very powerful, and people in the business were very reticent about working with them because they were difficult. But the change in Bobby was so incredible that people all around him were noticing. The only difference being that, of course, Tommy didn't become a Christian at the same time. It took him 7 years, so there was a bit of an issue there.
What was Tommy's reaction?
Well, interestingly, at that time, they were going through that period of about 5 years where they were not talking to each other. Things were really, really bad between them in their relationship. And I remember Bobby saying, I'm just going to go and tell Tommy what's happened. And he walked into Tommy's dressing room and he came back afterwards. He said, Tommy thinks I'm nuts. And then I remember there was one particular day I'd gone up again to see Bobby in his dressing room, and I'd taken a couple of friends with me, and we were praying, and we were holding hands and praying. And the door to Bobby's dressing room burst open, and in barged Tommy. Just couldn't believe it, and slammed the door and went out. And I think he thought we really had lost it, coming into the dressing room and seeing us all, particularly Bobby, his hard mate from Oldham, holding hands. Hilarious.
But I mean, so how did it get to the point then when they would go on tour together, doing gospel tours, and clearly sort of on the same page after that?
Yeah, it took a while. It took about 7 years for Tommy really to understand a little bit more about his mate and how his mate had changed. And Bobby was great because, Bobby could have easily bombarded and bullied Tommy into, doing what he did. But he just let Tommy take his time. And eventually Tommy saw that Bobby had got something that he also wanted, and he gave his life to God. And we eventually set up a 47-date tour where Bobby and Tommy came on stage. They did, 40 minutes of comedy, and then I interviewed them. And, of course, the comedy stayed there. They were still very, very funny. But they also talked about their backgrounds and their faith and what a difference it had made to them.
Chris Gidney with memories of Bobby Ball.
Bobby was always such fun and always very mischievous to be with. Always a joker, but with a serious side to him. He had a heart of gold and cared very much about others that he met. And when I was producing Bobby and Tommy's gospel shows, he would arrive at the theatre and Bob would go straight up to the theatre crew and say, "Are you a Christian then?" I suppose he just couldn't understand how people got through life without faith. Bobby's faith was everything to him. Whereas some in the showbiz world would keep their faith quiet, Bob was so transformed both personally and professionally by his faith, he just wanted everybody to know about it. However, of course, this didn't stop him being one of the funniest guys around, which is why Tommy and Bobby remained at the top of the showbiz tree for so long. The thing I'll remember always about Bobby was how laughter and faith were so entwined. He always said that laughter is God's medicine, and I'm sure that Bobby has all the angels in fits of laughter right now.
Open the door, open your heart, and then we've got somewhere to start. Just turn around, look what we found. Today's a brand new day. You gotta run with me now, I'll show you how. The world is waiting, take a bow. Show them it's you, what you can do. Together we two can win. A rock on Tommy, dance to a tune that this guitar sings. A rock on Tommy, just get up and spread your wings. Spread your wings, follow me through into the sun, and we can smile at everyone. You gotta join in with me, then we are free. It isn't hard to do. I said life is a song, so just sing along, and then we know we can't go wrong. Just you and me, come on and sing. Together we'll be okay. Together we'll be okay. Together we'll be okay.